in your book and rip them out all at once. So we're still measuring mass. Mass is the amount of matter, our science definition. We've already been practicing going from grams to milligrams, which there's 1,000 milligrams in a gram, and kilograms to grams, there's 1,000 grams in a kilogram. And we know this because we said on our chart, the main ones they're going to ask you to go from are units to milli and units to kilo. And each one is 3 steps, which means it's going to be multiplied by 1,000 or multiply by 1,000 or divide by 1,000, multiply by 1,000, divide by 1,000. All right. So here we go. I have 136 kilograms to grams. 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. So you're going to multiply it by 1,000. We're going to use our zeros trick. We're just going to add our zeros. The mass of the deer is 136,000. You can use division to check, just like we would for any multiplication problem, and we get our answer. So remember, we're adding or subtracting zeros, or we're moving the decimals. This is why we practiced for fluency last week, moving decimals left and right with multiplying and dividing. Now, we always have benchmarks to help us think about these weights. So we thought for millimeters, teensy tiny, like almost like a feather. And then we thought about centimeters, or like the base of your finger. And then we said a meter stick is the size of a yardstick almost, so it's like holding your arms out. And then we said kilometer, think of a little bit smaller than a mile. So our benchmarks for these measurements, because we're talking mass, and mass is in our head, we think how heavy it is. So think of a milligram is a breadcrumb. That's how tiny it is, teensy tiny. A gram is like a paper clip. So do you remember those cubes that we use in math class? Those are a gram. And then a kilogram, think of a loaf of bread. That's about how heavy it is. All right, we're going to continue with our guided practice, and then you will have your practice problems for today. When you're converting to a smaller unit to a larger unit, you're going to divide. We already know this, big to small, small to big. So if we divide by 1,000, remember we put our decimal behind, and we're going to shift it to the left. So we can put one group of 1,000, but we have 500 left over. Our 1, in this case, 5 thousandths, 500 thousandths, 1.5. The remainder of 500 means there are 500 grams left over, 500 out of 1,000. The decimal part of a kilogram is 0.5. So it's 1 gram, 1 kilogram, and 5 grams are 1.5 grams. And if you had used our trick from the beginning, it takes you right there. So if the remainder part seemed confusing to you, don't sweat it. Where's the decimal hiding? Behind the number. You're going to divide and move your decimal, 1.5. All right, so we have 5,000 divided by 1,000. Put your decimal. Which direction does it go for division? How many times is it going to go for 1,000? 1, 2, 3. All right. Divide by 1,000. Where is it hiding? Behind the number. Slide it left. Now this one is going grams to milligrams, so we're going to multiply 9 times 1,000, 9,000. Kilograms to grams, again, big to small, multiply. and have your little chart out with you. 5 times 1,000, 5,000. All right. We're going to do just 2 practice problems, and then I'm going to leave you to it. Actually, let's do 3 because this one has a decimal. All right, so what's the very first thing you need to do? What do we always write at the top to help us? Big to small, multiply. Small to big, divide. All of these are going to be going from milligrams to grams or grams to kilograms. So our conversion is always going to be 1,000. 3 stair steps. All right, milligram to gram, which is big and which is small? Many cute dolls usually do have kids. Many, that's our first one. So this is small to big, which means we divide. 2,000 divided by 1,000. 1, 2, 3. Grams to milligrams. Remember, grams is unit. Many cute dolls usually do have kids. Big, small, which means we multiply. All right, so which direction is my decimal going to go for multiplication? 1, 2, 3. So I need to add 3 zeros. Kilogram to milligram. Many cute dolls, remember cute is with a C, usually unit, do have kids. So we're going big to small, so we multiply. Our number is 75, so it already has a decimal. Multiply, we need to get bigger. We're moving it right. We need to add a 0. All right. Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 practice problems. I can't do a key for these because the numbers will automatically tell you which one is the right answer. But I can list out how many greater thans or less thans or equal tos there are. So please complete your independent practice, and I will put a key up tomorrow morning. Don't forget to do your problems on the other side, and we will look at a couple of these problems tomorrow when we start our lesson. If you'd like some additional practice, there's some homework problems you can do. And then also don't forget, as you're starting your planetarium project, there's some really good math enrichment activities on the link that I gave you, and those are all a metric measurement. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop our share, and I hope you don't forget to do your exit ticket question once you're done with your practice problems, and to send me a picture of that. And I will see you all soon.